What's up, family? Welcome to Young Visionary TV, and I am so excited to have some of my students, some of my church family on the video with us tonight. And tonight's topic is called My Black Is. And I can't wait to tell you the background of how this video came together. But real quick, just introducing your first names. Can y'all go around? We'll let ladies go first. Just introduce your first name and just say high school or middle, okay? Is that cool? All right, go ahead.
My name is Morgan. I am in high school. I go to Jacksonville High School.
Okay.
My name is Nate. I'm a sophomore. I go to Jacksonville High School.
My name is also Nate. I'm in high school. I go to Northside High School.
My name is Jeremiah Johnson. I'm in 8th grade and I attend Northwest Park Middle School.
Cool. So, like I was just telling my friends here, I was excited. First of all, we're coming out of one of the greatest months of the year. True or false?
True.
Y'all gonna have to talk back tonight. Come on. True or false?
True.
All right. So, Black History Month, and Nate, thank you for coming back. But okay. So, I have friends from my former church in Durham, North Carolina. And I used to go to this church during college, and they are doing some great things. He's this one guy that I know, he's the CEO of his own clothing brand. It's actually a couple, but the whole brand is called Good Steward Apparel. And really summing it up after our conversation the other day, one of the things that they really push for is, first of all, it's a Christian company. It's a Christian brand. And also it's good. It talks about stewardship. Y'all know what stewardship means? Or what a good steward is? Nate, you look like your eyebrows. You wanna take a guess?
I want to say good person, like in a way. Sounds
Okay.
like a good person.
So real quick, just to throw a little lesson out. The word stewardship or being a good steward means to take care of the things God has given you. So when they say Good Steward Apparel, they're talking about taking care of your relationships, your finances, your just everything God has given you, and being a great representation of Christ. Does that make sense? And one of the things that they are really big on is they want their apparel and their brand to be a vehicle to promote, teach, and celebrate stewardship, illustrating the gospel, the culture, illustrating the gospel the culture can experience. Okay. And we all know what the gospel is, right? The good news. So they're really trying to show off the good news through stewardship. Does that make sense? Make sense?
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
So they sent me this shirt and I'm so excited. So they sent me this shirt and it says, My Black Is. Okay. And it's just like these, it's like these dots, but it's with their logo. And they sent it to me and they was like, yo, I would really love for you to wear this shirt, but also like host a discussion with your students talking about Black history and just talking about this quote. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's go ahead and hop in. So how do y'all how was Black History Month for y'all? Like, how do y'all feel about it?
For me personally, I feel like it was probably one of the best Black History Months we could have had, mainly because it's not many people going around doing too many things. It's actually people wanting to maybe focus on the month and sit down and read and take time to actually learn about Black history.
Cool. Would you say that you learned some more things this year?
Most definitely, because probably then I'd probably be doing track or something, not really wanting to learn it. But this time I was actually able to sit down and learn something new.
Because of the pandemic?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's some blessings coming out of this pandemic. Did anybody else experience something different for this Black History Month than normal?
For me, it was yes, Black history, but more of the system, I guess. This month was more focusing on how Black history has affected today. So like the way Black history has affected Black America today.
Okay.
So looking back at the way and the system being like America and police department, all of that, the justice system, all of that. So how back 200 years ago in today, things aren't much different. So that was what Black History Month this year was for me.
Okay.
Looking at things aren't as old as they seem. If that makes sense. Times haven't changed as much as we think times have changed.
Because a lot of times people be like, oh no, that was way back
Yeah,
then.
like, come on, slavery happened so long ago.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Okay. What about the middle school aspect? How do you feel like Black history, did it hit different this year? Was it the same, or was like, yeah?
It hit different this year.
Why you say that?
So you know how you made the Black History Month challenge, the points and all that stuff. Yeah, it was good seeing other people, other kids younger than me, older than me, different colors, different race. Like, it just felt good not knowing that only Black people are being taught Black History Month, knowing that everybody has a part of Black History Month and want to learn more about Black culture.
Okay, so let's go ahead, and I do want to ask this, and then I'm gonna go in and help them understand what the competition was. So answer this question for me. Black history, overplayed, played out, or not played enough?
not played enough.
Okay, not played enough? Why? I feel like one of the names.
America was built on Black history. There will never be enough Black history in America.
Ooh. Okay, come on, man.
Oh no, I feel like we're not like overdoing it, but we're like kind of in the middle, like we're neutral, like we're in a good spot, but there's definitely more that can be done. Like that's what I feel like. But we're not like overdoing it or nothing like that. That's how I feel.
Okay, the other name, I felt like you was ready to hop on it.
I would say we're just now starting to like unhatch and everything. Like the other Nate was saying, we're in the middle of it. We're getting there, but we ain't there yet. Not everybody fully understands the point of Black history.
So where is there? Like, where are we trying to go?
Unity.
Okay.
For me, it's unity. For me, that's another reason why I think this year's Black history was different. Like the young man in the white shirt said, I'm not sure his name.
Jeremiah.
There were people, it wasn't just Black people this year. There were individuals of other color. So I feel like this year, and especially like this day and age, like I have friends who aren't the same color as me, but they understand the struggles that I might go through, and they don't try and downplay them anymore. And another thing is, like with that being said, they have different viewpoints than their parents or grandparents, because like a lot of times you see someone's grandparents might think one way, but like they could have different beliefs. And I feel like now with it being, with Black history being overplayed, I feel like sometimes people are just trying to get people to see their perspectives, but like when they do that, it seems like they can be overdoing or like trying to shove it in your face or something like that. So like, I don't know, I feel like it's different for everyone.
I feel like y'all's generation is like totally your own, and I admire that. And one thing that I'm learning is that if somebody's shoving information, we're not gonna take it. Like, just okay, you can chill out, y'all can calm down. Like, we'll get it when we want to. Okay. And I pray that people who are teaching Black history aren't just like, take it. No, I pray that they're like actually walking with y'all to teach it. Does that make sense? And I like one of the things that you said about it's different from like your grandparents' time or whatever. It reminds me of this quote on this shirt that I know that says, this ain't my grandmama's Black history. This ain't my grandmama's march. And y'all remember that? Have y'all seen that quote before? And what do y'all think that means?
You're not gonna spit in my face. You're not gonna spit in my face or tell me to move and expect me to move because you say it because you're white and I'm not.
Okay.
It's not like that.
All right, Jeremiah, that reminds me of our conversation in GQ when we were talking about the Greensboro 4, and we were talking about the things that Black people used to go through just to share a point. And Jeremiah, what was your thoughts? Do you remember that conversation? Kind of. Jeremiah was like, I'm just gonna let you know it wouldn't have been me. Like, I couldn't be nobody's slave. Like I promise
No,
you,
really.
we would have been throwing a hand. But one of the things, you are absolutely right. This is not my grandmother's march. This is not my grandmother's. It may be her fight, but one thing I do want to help you realize is your grandma's victory that you're living. Does that make sense? Because the fight that she fought, you're walking in victories that you didn't have to fight. Does that make sense? But one of the reasons I did talk to him about it, I said, you can't really say what you would have done then.
At all.
Because y'all were raised different from how I was raised, and I'm 27. Okay. But like, y'all were still raised differently, and I was still raised differently to how my grandparents were raised. And one of the reasons they went through what they went through was trying to prove a point. Like, you had people looking at us as if we weren't human. You had people looking at us as if we're like just animals or something. So when we went in peacefully, we were trying to prove that point. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Cool. So we say it's not played enough. We want to see unity. Did anybody else want to see something different other than unity?
I would say understanding. Until we can understand the fact that, yes, we are Black, but at the same time, yes, there are issues that white people go through, but at the same time, it's not just one race that is going through it. Until we're able to understand that we're all human and we all have the issues that each race goes through, we're not going to get anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanna piggyback off of that. It's basically unity, and it's like we've been fighting this fight, white against Black, and it's not gonna fight with fight. It's just not gonna work. We have to come together, and that's the only way that the problem is gonna get solved.
And I love how you put that, Nate, because everybody's a Christian up here, just to make that clear. And I'm glad that I can freely flow in that because we're representing a Christian apparel line. What we believe doesn't say to fight fire with fire. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't say return sin for sin. What it does say is turn your cheek, but it doesn't say be nobody's punk. Does that make sense? My sister is one of the ones that's my sister. So we're both loud, but I'm the one that, like, she's the quick one to throw the hands. I'm the one like, y'all, like, let's talk this out. Calm down. So one of the things I always tell her, I was like, Jesus flipped over a table in the temple. They were selling stuff. They were selling stuff in the temple inappropriately. And Jesus walked up in the temple and was hot. Like, first of all, this ain't what we doing in church. Y'all ain't gonna have this type of thing. And he went up in there and he just got angry and just started flipping over desks and tables to correct them. But after he did that, he went back and taught them what was right. And that's one thing that I hope for y'all is like that y'all use y'all anger for good things. Like, if y'all gonna do actions, if y'all gonna use force, make sure you go back and teach. Does that make sense? You know when your mama give you a whooping and kind of like the teaching and the whooping going in at the same time. Didn't I, like, y'all got that, mama? Yeah, like they talk at the same time. Yeah. So like you gotta make sure you like just don't whoop me. I need you to tell me what's wrong.
Good trouble.
You said what?
Good trouble.
Good trouble. If you're gonna act up, make it for a good reason and a good product. Does that make sense? Because Jesus ain't gonna be out here acting all ignorant. There's a reason why he did everything, right?
Right.
Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. My Black is. Okay. Finish the sentence. We're gonna be doing this all night. If you got a word that's on your heart, I need you to go ahead and say it. So I'm gonna say my Black is, and then somebody just hop in. All right, you ready? My Black is
powerful.
My Black is
opinionated.
Ooh. My Black is
timeless.
Okay, last one. My Black is
optimistic.
Optimistic?
Yes.
Optimistic, timeless. What did you say, Morgan?
Unapologetic. No, opinionated.
Opinionated and unapologetic. Jeremiah, what you say?
Powerful.
Powerful. Does anybody want to explain theirs?
I'll explain mine.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm really opinionated, obviously, as you can tell. And of course, there's a stereotype of the loud Black woman, of course. But you have told me, actually, Mr. Johnson, to not let someone stop my light from shining, or to belittle me, and I've had a lot of people tell me that, because of course there's always that stereotype at the back of your mind playing that, like, oh my gosh, like, am I doing too much? Like, I don't want them to think that I'm, this or that. But like, it becomes a time where, like, my opinions, I'm not going to belittle my opinions because of the way someone else could look at me differently. So that's why I think that.
Got you. Nate, what you mean by my Black is optimistic?
I would say I think I'm speaking for everybody when I say we never know how we're gonna come out during the day. We could wake up brand new and everything, and then one thing just crushes the world upside down, and I want to do this, I want to do that. So I would say for me, and probably for all of us, when it comes to us, our Black, we can be so nice and happy, or we could be just disrespectfully rude. It just depends on how we feel, who we are, and the moment that we're in. And it depends on, the situation that it falls into.
Okay. All right. And you think that's dwelling in our culture?
Yeah. Yes, no. Yes,
Okay.
no.
All right. So I want to play a game. So these are a few phrases that we use now. So your response has to be one of the four. Preach. Don't do that. Nah, or stop. Okay. So like, how people be like exaggerating, you be like, stop. Or you just don't agree with something. So nah. Or somebody overstepping their boundaries. No. Don't do that. Okay. And then if you agree, preach. Does that make sense? Y'all ready? All right. So I may say a phrase. I may say the my Black is. I just want to hear your response. Okay. Make sense? Here we go. My Black is diverse.
Preach.
Yeah, preach.
My Black is stereotyped often.
Preach.
Stop acting Black. Stop acting white.
None of that.
Yeah, stop.
My Black is fully embraced.
Preach.
Nate?
Preach.
Depends on what you mean.
Okay. When I say fully embraced, I mean, okay, y'all think that I mean
by us, by people.
Blackness?
Who do you mean? Embraced by who?
Okay, let me rephrase
and
it.
What do you
I fully embrace my Blackness.
Oh, preach.
Yeah.
Preach.
My Black is fully embraced by others.
Nah. Or not in the right light.
Yeah.
Okay. My Black offends.
No.
So it offends.
You don't like it, get out my face.
Like people are offended.
Oh, they feel some type of way about it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Preach. I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
I also agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
My Black is necessary.
Preach. For sure.
Preach.
And did I say the one about stereotype?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back. Let's talk about it. So which one y'all want to talk about first?
It don't matter. Just start.
Okay, because some of y'all was a little stunned by it. Let's go back to stop acting Black, stop acting white.
Guy.
We're not, will not, and will not.
What you mean?
I don't care if you don't like me. I was given this color for a reason, so I'm gonna appreciate it. I'm gonna use it how I'm supposed to. If you don't like it, get out my face.
Yeah, like approach me because I can speak well and articulate for being white. Don't call me white because I can articulate what I'm saying. And also, when people say that, I don't think they really understand how that can affect someone mentally, especially if you're telling like a child that at a young age. Like if there's a child speaking that's a child of color or black and you're saying, "Oh, stop talking like you're white." That's training them to think that the only people that can speak like into are white.
Come on here.
So what are you telling them? That the only people that can speak are white? So
and we can raise your hand if you've heard that phrase. Stop. Why are you acting white? Stop acting white.
Yeah, I think that goes in with the stereotype one.
It does.
Like, yeah, there's a stereotype that, Black people are not well educated. And in fact, Black people are some of the most educated people walking the earth as we speak. And it does not sit well with me when they be like, "Oh, don't talk like this, don't talk like that. Why you talking like you white?" No, I'm just well educated, and it's a difference. There's a difference.
Come on, there's a difference. And I love how Morgan said, like, so you saying that Black people can't be intelligent, Black people can't. So the sign of intelligence is white skin.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we don't realize, and a lot of times it's Black people that says that term or that phrase, and we don't realize what we are really lifting up and what we are degrading when we say that. So I'm really glad you hit that on the nail. What are some other stereotypes that bother y'all? Whether it be for a Black male or a Black female.
Our hair.
That
I hate stereotypes about our hair because one thing that I learned. The funny thing was I was scrolling on TikTok and it said that our hair was used as a path. And it's just so funny because when you think about it, when the way that we have developed ourselves now from then is crazy. So many things that we have done, we have carried on. And when you have I won't say white person, but another color coming by and telling me, "Why are you wearing it like that?" Excuse me. This used to help me find my way. Like,
come on.
What are you talking about? This was my map when I didn't have one. So I appreciate it like I wear it. Like, no, don't do that.
Who else feels? Does anybody hate that stereotype?
Yeah, or like the whole male figure, the whole Black male figure, or like not having a dad. That I don't find that's not a funny joke. That joke is so old. Like, come on now. Like, y'all are still joking about that. It's not funny anymore at all. It was never funny to begin with, because I don't think that's another thing. They don't really understand what that really stems from. And that all started from the slave trade. Like, it's just really ignorance, you know?
Jeremiah, why did that hit home for you?
Because, I mean, I got friends that say that to me and stuff. Like, having my dad live in Kansas and I don't get to see him that much. So, yeah.
I think when people say that, they don't realize they degrade Black men as if we're not capable of being good fathers.
And then go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think that also makes Black men feel a certain type of way. Not to speak for any of you guys, but like I feel like that makes you guys feel like you have so much pressure on you already, or like the whole child support joke. That's not funny either. None of that's funny. Like it's all old. Like why should I never could understand that. And then it's just like you guys still to be so young and like have to hear all this stuff, even like just put out there, that's still going to be on your minds. Like as you're developing, knowing all this stuff in the back of your head, like society's already looking at you in this light. So yeah.
Nate, you got something to say? Right. Yeah, you look like you had something to say. If you don't, it's cool.
I can definitely relate, as I know my father, thank God above, but he's not here right now at the moment, and I don't know. I'll have people come up to me talking about your dad went to go get the milk and he never came back, and like they'll look at me and they'll be like, "Nate, I'm sorry for when you have kids, blah blah blah," and it goes into what Morgan was saying about how this time is different. And you know, this is a new generation, and I don't know why like that stereotype is still a thing. You know, we're coming different. Like, and I feel like me myself, I can speak for myself. You know, my kids there's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. You feel me?
I love it.
And that's how I feel on that.
Nate was about to go into a flow. I asked earlier, I said, my Black is diverse. And all of y'all were like, preach. Why?
Because like I said, you never know how we come off or the way we gonna come at you. But at the same time, we have so many different types of Black. We have French Black, Spanish Black, Mexican Black. We have all these different types of Black to bring in our main culture. And when you think about it, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think there's any other culture as diverse. Each culture has maybe one. Yes, you have an American Indian, a Native American, but where do you see an albino in any other race? Like, that is about the coolest thing I have ever seen. Like, and I just really feel that no other country, no other ethnicity is as diverse as we are, because we just bring so much to the table, but nobody's ever willing to take and eat from it.
Or acknowledge it. Nobody wants to acknowledge our diversity. One thing, go ahead.
Or I feel like no one acknowledges how Black people are always willing to speak up for them and their issues. But then when it's time for someone to speak on our issues or the things that are happening to us, it's like crickets. Or they try and make it the oppression Olympics, where it's like, oh, we have it bad too. We have this, that, and the third. But it's like constantly when other people of color are going through things, we're always there in their corner. Every issue that's happened to people of color, other people of color, there's always Black people supporting them and stuff like that. And then it's like whenever we're like, okay, like, come on, they're like, oh, well, you guys did, this, that, and the third. But it's like we were there when something was happening to you guys.
Yeah, I think that's made us strong as a people. With us having to go through certain things, like slavery, and then just segregation, and then still having minor and major parts of racism. It's caused trauma, but it's also caused strength that some people just will never understand. Because when we go back to our hair, like there's some things that I had to mentally prepare my mind for to have locks in my head as a professional. Like there's some things that we have to second guess before we leave the door. Okay, do I have everything in place? Like it's a job interview every day, where some people can just come out however they feel. So I think it's caused us to be traumatic in some areas, but it's also caused us to be strong in some areas that other people won't be prepared to be strong, if that makes sense. And going back to our diversity, I do want to speak on how we have different parts, not only how we are all over the globe, but also our mentality is not the same. It like, especially when we're in school, everybody was like, stop being Black. And they associate that with being hood. But I know some Caucasian people that can throw the hands harder than some Black people that I know. Or Latino, Mexican, or whatever. We all have our different types. Does that make sense? But also I learned, I went to a HBCU, a historically Black college and university, North Carolina Central University. And when I got there and I sat in my English class and I was seeing the guy with the thick freeform dreads that looked like just somebody that would not open their mouth. And then I see the one that is dressed to the T, and the young Black lady that's with her high heels looking like next top model, and the guy in the back that just got his skinny jeans on and his skateboard. And all of us are giving intelligent feedback. And I'm sitting here like, it's a shame that I fell into the stereotype instead of really falling into my culture, because I had to wait to college to see this side of our culture in this diverse setting, if that makes sense. Cool. So It's the confidence for me. It's the confidence for me when I hear Nate talking about something. I don't see nobody else as diverse as this. It's the confidence for me when I hear Morgan talking about supporting young Black men, but also supporting and being confident in her own voice. It's the confidence for me. What is it for you when we talk about your culture? What is your favorite thing about your culture? It's the what for you?
The stuff that we built, like we like when you think about culture, you think about Black people. Like we built so much, we've made so much that, you know, it's something to be proud of. It's something to be proud of.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. What is it? What else is it for you?
First off, might I say it's definitely the food, because you know nobody come to harder than the food.
It's the season for you.
Right. But on a serious note, I would say it's the comebacks. You know, you never see one Black person staying down for quite some time, whether it was slavery, whether it's now or whether it's in the future. I don't think you'll ever see a Black person that really struggles stick down on the ground and just mope there. They're gonna get up and they're gonna achieve what they need to do, and no matter who or what stops them, they're gonna bypass it and they're gonna get to where they need to go.
I love it. I love it. The strength is the strength for you and the comebacks. Okay. Jeremiah, what is it for you?
How far our people go back, like, you know, and how far we go back, knowing that my people, my culture, my race, that we are like one of the most original races to ever be on this world, you know. Like, also, let's think about it. I don't know how to put this. I gotta think. What was the word? Oh yeah, strength. How they fought for us. Like, you know how we go back, think about slavery. They fought and never gave up just so we could have an education, freedom, the right to vote, the right to walk without being judged, how we're like criminals or stereotypes like that. It's just simple stuff like that. They never gave up.
So they fought for it. They didn't go down. They fought for it. It's the bloodline for me, how you say it. It's like how strength just didn't start in 2021, but it went back decades upon
millions,
decades. Like, even if like we're in the history books, but we're not. One of my quotes this year has been, put us back in the books. Put us back in the books, because you ain't seen strength yet. And that's with us, and that's with people of color. One thing I want to go back over is my Black is necessary. Why is my Black necessary?
America is built on Black people, literally. America was built by the hands of slaves, Black people. And since then, almost every big necessary invention has been invented by a Black person. Imagine where we would be without the stoplight, which was invented by a Black person.
Baby, like, we got it now, and folks still running it. But go ahead.
Exactly. it's like little things like that. Like, people don't think about how differently life would be without things like that.
Yeah, I really went in on my class. I was just like, have you ever rode an elevator? Have you used the cell phone? Have you used the GPS? Have you eaten peanut butter? Listen, okay? We're necessary. And one thing that I want to let you know is your voice is necessary, because your voices shift rooms. I was in a class last 2 weeks ago. We were talking about racism and everything, and one of my Caucasian students was like, "Oh well, it's just, you know, it's not as racism isn't as big as it was, but it's still here." And one of my what? Fix your face. It's all right. I know. So one of my students, and I'm talking to the students, and it's just like I'm talking, and I hear one of my Latino students, and she says underneath her breath, she was like, "You don't see it because it's not happening to y'all." And baby, I walked in front of the class, and I was just like, "That's it! That's it!" And the girl ain't even Black. I'm just like, yes, that's it. And I was just like, what? They was like, what? I was like, can you please share? And she was like, it's not happening to y'all. You don't see it because it's not happening to y'all. They have us at the borders locked up. And when she said that, the room got quiet. She said, they don't have y'all at the borders in cages. And remind you, this is a 6th grade class.
Oof.
So don't tell me your color ain't necessary.
Right.
And I'm trying to convince them, trying to tell them like Black history and why the 4 went to the Greensboro 4 did what they did. And this Latino girl comes up and she just says this. And I turn around and I'm like, oh my God, like you didn't go there. Like you went there. And I turn around and I turn back and she's crying. And I'm just like, you never know what impact you can make, or you never know like how real this struggle is for someone. And then I go back and I be like, my Black is necessary. Why? Because if I never brought this conversation up, she wouldn't have never spoke what she said. And then if she hadn't spoke what she said, y'all know how we start talking about history in class and everybody just start going to sleep and everybody be like this, okay, what's next? If she had never said, the Latino student, if she had never said what she said, it would have never made the impact of bringing racism to the classroom. It would have like, and that's what I'm telling y'all tonight. It's just like, please always use your voice because it's necessary. Her voice shifted the whole room. And you see how my voice connected with her voice? And it just shifted. Like, what happens if you tell them about your diversity, Nate? What happens when you tell them how you're going to be a good father, other Nate? Morgan, what? Listen, I don't think they're ready for you, sugar. But I just wanted to share this conversation with y'all because like y'all Black, it's necessary, it's optimistic, it's culture. I love how Nate was like, when people think of culture, they think of Black people. When they think of soul music, what did they think of?
Black people.
When they think of somebody that can sing.
Black people.
When we go into church, what do they think? They think of Jesus. First of all, let's say hallelujah. Oh, but can't nobody take you to church. Listen, we can turn the national anthem into, listen, folks laid out in the floors, slain. And we just be like, it's Jesus, it's the anointing. Okay.